Now, it seems like there's a lot we don't know about Biden-era federal investigations in general. Another example would be, of course, Arctic frost, which maliciously targeted several Republican senators. Now, they had warrants signed by the infamous judge, James Boasberg, who's now facing an impeachment effort from House Republicans, and who, by the way, just so happened to rule today against the Trump administration in a major anti-Trump case against Meta. Here with reaction, South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham is with us. First, on the issue of the assassination. Okay, I fell off a roof 3 stories, fell down, broke, dislocated my arm, busted up my face, and became a conservative. Knocked some sense into me. I could have died that day. Nearly 3 stories. That's number one. She claimed in the beginning that that was a sloped roof. Lindsey, you could put water in the wintertime on that roof and skate on it. That's how, that's the kind of roof it was. It was not sloped. Then she said that she put the agents inside the building rather than around the perimeter so nobody can get on the roof of the building. Makes no sense. They had eyes on the would-be assassin at one point, but then lost sight of that person. None of this makes sense. Now, why are we finally now learning more?
Well, I think the question is, what motivated this man to want to kill President Trump? Was he radicalized on the internet? Did he have people that he chatted with that talked about killing President Trump? How deep and wide did it go? I think there's a lot to be learned, and we need to ask these questions. But, I don't think I've ever been on a show more unnerving than tonight. You've got United States senators and members of the House suggesting to our men and women in the military that they should be disobeying unlawful orders issued by President Trump and his military. I was a military lawyer for 33 years. I was a prosecutor, defense attorney, and a military judge. And if you're listening to this program tonight, I find no evidence that President Trump or anyone in your chain of command has issued an unlawful order to you. To the people who made these accusations, I'm going to write you a letter tomorrow, and I want you to tell the country what orders you think are unlawful. What did President Trump do wrong as Commander-in-Chief? You owe that to the men and women of the military to be specific about what you're talking about. If you're in the military, you need to follow the lawful orders of your commanders. And Article 92, check it out. So what these senators and House members did was unnerving, and it was unconscionable to suggest that the President of the United States is issuing unlawful orders without giving an example. The hatred of Trump cannot spill over to putting our men and women in the military in jeopardy. You're going too far.
It sounds like a call for insurrection, and you're correct. They did not identify a single example.
Please identify
that is
the order in question.
They can't.
Well, they should, because they're suggesting they exist. They're suggesting that men and women in the military, you should disobey unlawful orders. Tell me an example of an unlawful order that exists under the Trump administration. I want to see what you're talking about, and I'll give you my opinion. Well, the reason they didn't say anything is because there is none.
Senator, you were one of the people that was targeted, and they went after, your phone records.
Personal
why do I believe at some point I'll find out I was as well? But in all seriousness,
that's right.
I think you should have the right to sue and get damages for what they did to you, because that sounds like unreasonable search and seizure to me. Oh, you are. Well, you mentioned
what I'm going to do there. Okay, so let me just boil this down. In 2022, President Trump in November says, I'm going to run again in 24. 3 days later, Jack Smith is appointed special counsel in November 2022. By August of 2023, there are 91 felony charges against him coming from New York, Washington, and Atlanta. My phone records were seized as part of this. I am tired of this. The third leading DOJ lawyer left DOJ in Washington to work for Alvin Bragg in Manhattan. What was that all about? Fani Willis's boyfriend spent a day in the White House talking to the Jack Smith people. What was that all about? I think this was worse than Watergate, an effort to destroy President Trump charge him with crimes that are just ridiculous, and come after people like me. I'm not going to put up with this crap anymore. I'm going to sue.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.